The Bold and the Beautiful B&B. Spoilers recap for Thursday, October 17, reveals that Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McSinswood, forgave Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., for keeping her in the dark on Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, condition since he really stepped up for her. Steffi assumed Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, must have had a connection when she walked in on Ridge all tangled up with Taylor. Ridge admitted Brooke wasn't happy, but he suggested he smooth things over with a private demonstration of the same pose at home. Steffi responded with an "you right" as Brooke walked in and piped up about being glad Taylor was oak. Although Steffi credited Ridge with helping Taylor, Brooke insisted Taylor also had very capable doctors. Once R.G. Forrester, Joshua Morrow, and Zende Forrester Dominguez, Dylan Demetz, popped up, they expressed excitement over hope for the future being on the upswing. Steffi didn't seem as certain, but she suggested they find out soon enough, that is if Hope Logan, Annika Noel, ever showed up for the meeting. In the meantime, RG thanked everyone for being supportive while he was processing all the Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada drama. RG and Zend admitted they hadn't heard from Luna since she got locked up, but they were happily focusing on hope for the future anyway. In the corridor, Carter thought back to kissing Hope and smiled over their connection. In the design office, Hope was stressed ahead of the Hope for the Future meeting and complained to Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, while searching for a thumb drive. Hope assumed Steffi called this meeting to threaten her line again and was exhausted from constantly being on the chopping block. Liam offered to take Beth Spencer, Jordan Gracie, tonight so that Hope could decompress after the meeting was over, so she was grateful. When Carter appeared, he was surprised to once again find Liam with Hope. Liam assured Hope that Carter would take care of her in the upcoming meeting, so Carter said Liam could count on it. After Liam left on Thursday's B&B episode, Carter told Hope that she didn't have to explain anything regarding her ex's visit. As for the meeting that was coming up, Carter reiterated that he'd support her and said Hope shouldn't forget that he had her back. In the CEO office, Hope and Carter joined Steffi, Ridge, Brooke, RG and Zend to discuss where Hope for the Future stood. Carter pointed out that Ridge was throwing his full support behind Brooke's bedroom, which was paying off. The numbers weren't where they wanted them yet for Hope's line, but Carter had a plan to fix that. Instead of just giving Hope for the Future more time, Carter thought they needed to be sinking more resources into it. Steffi and Ridge were wary of doing that since Hope for the Future was already struggling, but Carter insisted they couldn't put a price on the social impact. Carter guaranteed that losing Hope for the Future would hurt them since it was their most meaningful line. Buzz could be generated, but integrity had to be earned. Carter played up Hope's contributions and made a prediction that all her line needed was the biggest spotlight they could give it. Once Carter said they shouldn't give up on Hope or Hope for the Future, she smiled over how supportive he was being. Carter's passionate defense of Hope also seemed to surprise Steffi, Ridge, and the others. At Spencer Publications, Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, made Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, promise not to flip out and broke the news about his new internship at Forrester Creations. Bill ranted about it being nonsense and argued that Will needed to come learn how to run a real business at Spencer Publications. Will eventually got honest about the gorgeous girls at Forrester being a big draw, so Bill settled down and seemed pleased that was the real reason. Bill also wasn't giving up on reuniting with Katie Logan, Heather Tom, but Will admitted he told her that just because they were great parents didn't mean they made a good couple. Bill was disappointed in himself since Will and Katie didn't trust him the way he wanted them to. Liam ultimately joined the conversation and wanted in on the guys' night that Will and Bill were planning. Bill talked about how Will would be a great addition to Spencer Publications one day before Liam praised Will for assisting him recently. Liam said that Will was kind enough to help him realize he wanted a life with Hope again. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Liam may not get his wish anytime soon, so stick with us for updates on Hope and Carter's budding romance. CDL will have other scorching bold and the beautiful spoilers, predictions, updates, and news to read up on, so make us your favorite B&B hotspot. Emotional confrontations, heartfelt confessions, and dramatic updates. The stakes were high for several key characters, and by the end of the day, some relationships had strengthened while others were on shaky ground. Let's dive into what happened. The episode began with Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McSinswood, sitting down with her father, Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K. Steffy was still coming to terms with Ridge's decision to keep her in the dark about her mother, Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, condition. Ridge, having stepped up during Taylor's challenging time, was ready to ask for his daughter's forgiveness, and Steffy didn't hesitate to give it. Steffy playfully teased her father, suggesting that Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, must have been furious when she walked in on Ridge and Taylor in a compromising position. Ridge sheepishly admitted that Brooke wasn't thrilled, but reassured Steffy that things were smoothed over with a little private demonstration of the same pose at home. Steffy's response was a humorous "ew" right as Brooke walked in, catching the tail end of the conversation. Brooke, though amused by Steffy's reaction, quickly turned the conversation to Taylor's recovery, expressing her relief that Taylor was doing well. Steffy, while giving credit to Ridge for supporting Taylor, acknowledged that capable doctors were also instrumental in her mother's recovery. However, the air between Brooke and Steffy still had a tinge of tension, especially given their complicated history. But for now, both women seemed to find common ground in their concern for Taylor, even if their relationship remained guarded. As Steffy and Ridge's conversation unfolded, R.G. Forrester, Joshua Morrow, and Zen DeForester Dominguez, Delon Demetz, entered the room, clearly excited about the future of Forrester Creations. Both men were eager to discuss the Hope for the Future line, which had been on the upswing in recent days. However, Steffy, always the pragmatic leader, wasn't entirely convinced. She remained cautious about the line's future and suggested that the real test would come when Hope Logan, Annika Noel, finally arrived at the meeting to provide updates. In the meantime, RG thanked everyone for their support during the Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada drama. Although neither RG nor Zenda had heard from Luna since her recent troubles, they were determined to move forward and focus on their work. Over in the design office, Hope Logan was in full panic mode. With the Hope for the Future meeting fast approaching, she was frantically searching for a missing thumb drive that contained vital information for the presentation. The pressure of constantly feeling like her line was under threat from Steffy weighed heavily on her. Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, entered the room to offer some much-needed support. Sensing Hope's exhaustion, he volunteered to take their daughter, Beth Spencer, Jordan Gracie, for the night, giving Hope a chance to decompress after the stressful meeting. Hope appreciated the offer, but the tension in her voice made it clear that the stakes for the upcoming meeting were higher than ever.